Yes, welcome back. So now in this session we are going to start the fifth group of kingdom Protista, that is protozoans. In the earlier session we have already covered about the four group of the kingdom Protista. What are they? We have done chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, then euglenoids. All they comes under the plant like protist, and we have done after that slime molds, which comes under the fungi like protist. Now we will start with the fifth one, protozoans. So what are the protozoans? They are resembling some characteristics with the animals. Okay, so we can say these are the animal like protist. Okay, so now we will start with some characteristics of protozoans as it comes under the kingdom Protista. So the remaining characters are same, that it is eukaryotic as well as unicellular, or the mode of nutrition will be heterotrophic mode of nutrition. In heterotrophic mode of nutrition, the parasitic mode of nutrition is there. Okay, and holozoic mode of nutrition. So these comes under the protozoans. And now on the basis of different characters, on the basis of different locomotion or the feeding habit, we have categorized these into the four another groups. What are they? Sarcodina, Ciliata, Zooflagellata and Sporozoa. Okay, now whenever we are talking about the protozoans, they are a very diverse group. Okay, this is why we are saying diverse group, because they are having different types of nucleus in their members. They are having different types of shapes. For example, if we talk about the shape, in amoeba there is no particular shape is there. In case of Paramecium, the shape is like slippery like structure, sleeper like structure. So we can say shape are of diverse form. Like that, if you will talk about the flagella, so they are having flagella also. If you will talk about the mode of nutrition or mode of locomotion, so they can move with the help of different structure, in case of amoeba, what are they? They can move through the pseudopodia. Okay, in case of another Paramecium, they are having cilia. Like this, they are another one, they are having flagella for their movement, and in the sporozoans they are not having proper structure to move. Clear? So they are showing the gliding effect. So like this we can say that they are of different forms. Okay, so one by one we will discuss about these members or the groups which we have categorized, and how we have categorized on the basis of some characteristics, because they are showing different characters here in these members. So now how we have given names here? Sarcodina, this name comes from where? From the somehow related to the amoeba. Whenever we are talking about the locomotion or movement due to the pseudopodia, so this will come under the Sarcodina. It means that under the Sarcodina, what can be the examples? Amoeba can be the examples. Now the second one is the ciliata. So name itself indicates that they are having some cilia like structure. So where you have seen these cilia can be present where? Into the Paramecium. If you will see the structure of Paramecium, so all over it is surrounded by cilia. Flagellata, what happens? There will be some flagella like structure which help in the movement as well as capturing the food here. So in this we will have having different examples like this Trypanosoma gametes. So one by one we will discuss all about it. And the fourth one is Sporozoa. It means there is no particular structure for the capture as well as locomotion. So we can say all these are absent here. Fine. So let's start with the first one, Sarcodina. In Sarcodina we said that they are having some pseudopodia like structure. Okay, as we have seen in amoeba. So how amoeba is taking nutrition? With the help of pseudopodia. So there I have written some characteristics. On the basis of these things we can compare all these four groups. So first one is habitat. In earlier group also, what we have done? We have done on the basis of their habitat. So what were there? There was the marine as well as fresh. So here in the Sarcodina, so we can say that habitat is fresh water. They found mostly in the fresh water, as well as sometimes they become endoparasite. So what is the meaning of endoparasite? Something which is present inside the body, and they are taking the nutrition by some killing effect or some having effect to the body. So we are having different example. Amoeba as they are present, as it is present where? In the fresh water. And this endoparasite is example of what? Entamoeba histolytica. So what is this? It is present inside the intestine of human being. So how it will act? It will act like a parasite inside the human body. And again, if they are act as a parasite, so it means that they are causing some diseases there. Fine. So here the Entamoeba histolytica, it will act as an endoparasite and it will cause dysentery disease, or we can say amoeboid diseases in the human being. Fine. Second thing is food capturing and locomotion. So how the Sarcodina group capture its food, or how they will move from one place to another place. So they are having pseudopodia like structure. If you will see the picture of amoeba, so you can come to know that they are having some pseudopodia structure. Due to this, what will happen? They will engulf the food material inside the body, inside their cell. Fine. So we can say it's a locomotion. It's helpful for the locomotion as well as to capture the food by the phagocytic nature. Another characteristic is nutrition. We have done in the earlier group also. So what can be the mode of nutrition? As we are talking about the kingdom Protista, so what are they? Mostly they are in this animal like protozoan, because protozoans are the animal like protists. So we know that what is the characteristics of animals? They are heterotrophic mode of nutrition. It means they are dependent on the other organism for their nutrition. So here, nutrition will be heterotrophic mode of nutrition, that it is taking nutrition from other one. And as well as if you will categorize it holozoic, it means it whole structure. How they are, because in case of amoeba, how it is taking food? By engulfing the whole food. So that mode of nutrition is holozoic mode of nutrition. Fine. Another characteristic, asexual production. We know that these are some structure which can reproduce. Okay, so reproduction can be sexual as well as asexual type. So whenever we are talking about the asexual mode of reproduction, so in case of Sarcodina, what type of asexual reproduction takes place? Binary fission. What is binary fission? Division takes place, and after division there will be formation of two halves. Fine. And when in 10th grade we have studied that this binary fission can be of different types. What are they? Longitudinal binary fission, transverse binary fission. Okay, and here another one is multiple fission. What is the meaning of multiple fission? As we have discussed, or we have done in earlier grade, that in case of amoeba during unfavorable condition, what it will form? It will form cyst like structure, and there will be formation of multiple structure, or we can say it will form the multicellular structure, and when the favorable condition will come, it will release that structure and form the spores. And so that time we can say asexual production takes place by the binary fission as well as by the multiple fission. Now whenever we talk about the sexual reproduction, it can be done by the syngamy. Syngamy means the fusion of two types of gametes. Fine. Another one is nucleus. Whenever we are talking about the nucleus, because we know that it is what? It is eukaryotic, and this is the characteristics of eukaryotic, that it is having the proper nucleus. So on the basis of number of nucleus, we have categorized. In case of Sarcodina, they are mononucleate. It means they are having one nucleus. When we will compare with other group, so they are having different number of nucleus. So here the number of nucleus is mononucleate. But one example is there. Or we can say exception, that is Paramecium. In Paramecium, what can be the nucleus? Nucleus can be multinucleated. Okay, you must memorize all these exceptions because it may be important from the examination point of view. Okay, so now another one is trichocyst. Trichocyst is what? It is the structure which is responsible for attachment. Okay, or sometimes it is responsible for capturing the prey also. So here in case of amoeba or in case of Sarcodina, this trichocyst is absent. Right? Now some examples I have mentioned here. Amoeba we know that it is will act as a fresh water, and the one is Entamoeba histolytica, responsible for dysentery, and the Paramecium is another member of Sarcodina group. Alright, now come to the next one, that is ciliata. It means that some cilia presents all over the body. Now first of all, we'll compare again with the habitat. So habitat will be fresh water. It may present the fresh water as well as endoparasite. It means that it will present inside the body also. So how they are capturing their food or how they are moving from one place to another, that with the help of cilia. If you will see the picture of cilia, so you can see that all over the body cilia are present. So these cilia, what they are doing, they are moving, or when they will move, what will happen, there will be some steering, or like ways you have seen in the car also, steering type of condition. So here in this cilia, what will happen, so these cilia act as a steering condition, and due to the steering, what will happen, the water where they are present, okay, the water in which the food laden is present, okay, so we can say the water having the food laden, they will come inside towards the cilia, and there is a gullet, and from where what will happen, the food will get inside the paramecium. Here I have talking about the example paramecium. Fine. So if you will see the structure of paramecium, you can see that in anterior part they are having some gullet like structure, where with the help of cilia the food get inside the paramecium. Okay. Now nutrition, as we know that they are dependent on the other one. So nutrition will be the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Fine. And holozoic, we have covered that holozoics, that as they are engulfing or they are taking the food inside their cell body. Fine. Asexual production. Asexual production in case of paramecium, you can see binary fission. And what type of binary fission? Transverse binary fission. What is the meaning of transverse? It means that in this form, transversely. Okay, the cell will divide into two equal halves with the help of binary fission. Now when we talk about the sexual reproduction, the sexual reproduction takes place with the help of conjugation. So what is conjugation? So attachment of the structure so that there will be transfer of material from one organism to another organism. Fine. So here another point, nucleus. So what will be the nucleus here? Binucleate. It means they are having two nucleus, and these two nucleus are of different types. That's why I have written here nuclear dimorphism. What is the meaning of nuclear dimorphism? That if you will see the structure of paramecium, they are having two types of nucleus. One is large one and one is small one. That is macronucleus, and another one is micronucleus. Macronucleus is kidney shaped and micronucleus is spherical shape. And what is the function of the macronucleus is that for the metabolic activity or the activity which is happening inside the body, it is done by the macronucleus, and the micronucleus is responsible for the reproduction. Okay. So this is all about the ciliata. Now again trichocyst. This is attachment structure which is present where? Into this ciliata. So with the help of cilia, so they are having some trichocyst structure. What they will do? They will attack on the prey, or sometimes it happens that they are attached to the substratum as during the floating. So how they will attach to the substratum? With the help of this trichocyst. Otherwise trichocyst is absent in all other members or the other groups of this protozoans. Fine. Now some examples I have quoted here: Paramecium and Balantidium. Okay. Now another one is zooflagellata. Zoo means something moving, or flagellata means that flagella that is having some flagella like structure. These flagella are responsible for what? For the locomotion. Now again, if we talk about the habitat, so habitat would be endoparasite. It means that it remain present inside the body of any organism, whether it is an animal or human being. Fine. So it can be endoparasite, or sometimes it can be symbiotic. Means that it also create a symbiotic relationship with the other organisms. Fine. So it is about the habitat. So how they will capture the food? Because they are having flagella. So these flagella can be of one or many flagella can be present here. Okay, if you will see the flagella in case of Gardiasis, because it is also member of what? Zooflagellata. So in that case they are having 5 flagella, 4 at the anterior one and the 1 flagella at the posterior end. So we can say they are having in this group, they are having different flagella, one or many flagella. Now comes to the nutrition, how they are taking their nutrition with the help of heterotrophic. Again, because they are endoparasite and they are taking nutrition from other organisms, we can say heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Sometimes it can be saprozoic also, because some from dead and decaying, so that time we can say saprozoic mode of nutrition. Now when we are talking about the asexual production, again binary fission will be there, but that binary fission will be of different type, as it is longitudinal binary fission. It means that longitudinal position. Fine. And sexual reproduction is absent in case of zooflagellata. And another point is nucleus. Nucleus is mononuclear. It means that they are having only one nucleus. Again, one exception is there, Giardia or Giardiasis, the disease which is caused by the Giardia. So it is binuclear. They are having two types of nucleus. Fine. Now here trichocyst is again absent. Now examples are, see students, I have given some examples which are the causal organism for some diseases. Okay, so here Trypanosoma, it is one of the member of zooflagellata, and the species is Trypanosoma gambians. It is responsible for what? For the sleeping sickness. Okay, this disease of sleeping sickness is caused by Trypanosoma gambiensis, and it is caused by what? By the CC fly. As there are two terms, monogenetic and digenetic. What is the meaning of monogenetic? Monogenetic is what? When any organism completes its life cycle in any one host cell. Okay, it means that it will complete its life cycle in one host cell. It is known as monogenetic, and when it is completing its life cycle in more than one host, or we can say two hosts, it will be digenetic. Okay, so here Trypanosoma gamins complete its life cycle in two hosts, first host and second host. So here in human beings, what they are doing, they are causing the sleeping sickness, and the second one is the another host will be the CC fly. Okay, CC fly is responsible, or we can say it will act as a vector for transmission of this disease. Fine. Another one is Leishmania donovani. What is the role of this Leishmania donovani? Again, it is causing disease that is known as Kala Azar. Okay, we are in this disease. Again, it will be what? It is present in the two hosts, in human beings as well as the sand fly. So we can say again it is a digenetic, because they are completing its life cycle into two hosts. Now another example I have mentioned here, Trichomonas vaginalis. So here what this organism, what it is causing? It is causing the leukorrhea disease in the female. In this disease, what happens? That there is a fishy smell in the vaginal discharge. So what it will cause? It will cause the leukorrhea disease in the female. Fine. So along with this, there is a Giardiasis disease caused by the Giardia, and this is also known as grand old man of intestine. Why? Because it is present in the intestine of what? Intestine of human beings. Fine. So here we have completed the zooflagellata. Now another one is Sporozoa. The Sporozoa name itself indicates something related to spores. So here habitat is endoparasite, because it is present inside the body of the living organisms, and what they are causing some diseases. That's why we can say they will act as a pathogen also, or they can be pathogenic. Now if we talk about the food capturing and locomotion, so there is no specialized structure for the capturing the food as well as for the locomotion. So how they will move? They will not move only, there will be a gliding structure, there will be a gliding movement, so that it can move. Now if we talk about the nutrition, we said that it is a pathogenic, so it means that they are dependent on the living host or any organism. So simply it can be heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Now it can be saprozoic sometimes also. Fine. So now asexual production. Asexual production is multiple fission. What is the meaning of multiple fission? That in any condition, it will form a cyst-like structure. Inside this, the cell will get divided and form a multiple structure, and when it will rupture, it will form a disease. So here multiple fission is there, and sporogamy, gamogony. What is the meaning of all these things? See here what happens, this sporozoa having example of Plasmodium. if we will talk about the Plasmodium, Plasmodium is what? It is just different from the previous one, as we have done in the slime molds. There is also a formation of Plasmodium, but it is not related to that one. In this Plasmodium, what will happen? It will cause malaria diseases. Malaria disease, and we know that this malaria disease caused by the Anopheles female Anopheles mosquito. So when this organism or this parasite completes its life cycle in the two hosts, in the human being as well as in the female Anopheles mosquito. So in this sporogony, what will happen? It will complete its life cycle where? Into the female Anopheles mosquito. And in this gamogony, or we can say alternation of generation, both sexual as well as asexual mode of reproduction will be there, and it will complete its life cycle where? In the female mosquito, female Anopheles mosquito. That's why we are saying that it is the primary host, or it is a primary primary host for this disease, fine. Now another one is nucleus. So nucleus, they are having only one nucleus, that's why we are saying mononucleate. No trichocysta are present, so it is absent here. Now examples, as I have said, that Plasmodium. So Plasmodium vivax, it is responsible for the malaria diseases, or it can be the malaria parasite. So here we have covered all about the protozoans. See students, now I want to ask one question. What is the difference between that the Plasmodium which is present in the slime molds and the Plasmodium which is present in the sporozoa? Okay, so what would the answer? There are two important difference. The first difference is that in case of slime molds, what is there? The nucleus will be more than one nucleus, but here the nucleus is mononucleate, only one nucleus is present. And in case of slime molds, Plasmodium is multinucleate. This is the first thing. And the another one, in case of slime molds, the Plasmodium structure is what? It can be the saprotrophic mode of nutrition, because it is dependent on the dead and decaying organism. But here the mode of nutrition is heterotrophic, because they are, or we can say it is a parasitic. It is act as a parasite on the human beings. Clear? So these are some important thing about the protozoans. Here what you have to do, you have to learn all the examples and what are the causal organism for these diseases, and you don't have to study more about the disease, because you will study in grade 12 about all these diseases, how it is happening, what is the cycle for that one. For your syllabus, that much is sufficient. Alright, so we have completed today the kingdom Protista. Now in next session we will start another kingdom, that is fungi. So that's all for this lecture. Thank you.